we still saying like, this is the first black woman to do this, and we're in 2020. Like,
right, we're in.
I deserve that whip right there. I deserve to pull up to that big house of mine.
You know, I'm gonna edit all this extraness off anyway. So hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's ANTIGORGEOUS here, and I have a special guest today. I really like doing videos like this because it makes it fun. You know, you guys get tired of seeing me, so I'm gonna let her introduce herself. So go right ahead.
Yes. Well, first off, thank you so much for having me on your channel. My name is Chance Cessna, and I'm currently Miss Chicago 2020 within the Miss United States pageant, and I'm also an author, a speaker, and you can just kind of catch me doing different things around town, around the city, you know what I mean? I'm out and about around Chicago, but I also travel and go about everywhere. So I'm excited for the session today. Like, I'm excited to, you're gonna teach me some stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not perfect at this thing, but you can teach me some techniques.
As far as makeup, nobody has to be perfect. You know, you just gotta work with what you got. So basically the theme of this video, we're gonna be doing like our makeup. We're gonna be talking about a lot of topics, beauty. We're gonna be getting into more like, so you guys can get to know her. She's gonna be asking me some questions. So yeah, it's kind of like a chatty, like girl talk type video. I like these type of videos. So we're gonna get to know each other. And I want to start off by saying how we met. So we met during All-Star Weekend, because you guys know All-Star Weekend was in the best city. I met her at this event, and it was the Confidence Foundation charity event that they had with Tesla. So I met you there, and you were one of the speakers, right? Or were you? You were one of the speakers there.
The speakers at the event.
Before we even get started, we're gonna start our makeup because I can get to talking and forget to do my makeup. So the first thing I'll do is I'll wipe my skin down. You wanna make a wipe?
Okay. Yes.
I mean, I know you just got out of the shower, but I just like to do this prep because I don't know. I just like to take off any like extra oils or like whatever. It's just like a ritual of mine. So I just basically just wipe my skin down.
I'm following your lead.
Yeah. So our skin looks good on this camera, okay? My skin was recovering. Y'all know my last video I was breaking out, so.
Yeah, I know for me, I was telling you about this, like being more intentional about drinking more water every single day without having to go to the bathroom every 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
That's my problem. I want to drink more water, but I'm like, I'm not going to be in and out of the bathroom. And
it's important to drink your water and mind your business.
And mind your business.
So yeah, I was telling her, she was offering me something to drink. I'm like, I don't drink pop or anything like that. I only drink water, and like I rarely drink juice. So she was saying like my skin look good. I'm like, child, today it looks good. Are you like an eyebrow starter girl, or do you like your base?
So it's so weird. I know this is like so untraditional or non-traditional. I always start with my concealer under my eye.
I mean, like I said, it's no rules to makeup, so it's really up to you. So, but
we can start with the brows today. Like, let's start with the brows because I'm here to like learn a new technique, and you can teach me everything that I don't know.
Okay. So, are you like a avid makeup wearer though, or you just wear makeup like during special occasions?
Yeah. So I would say I'm an avid makeup wearer. Like. But I balance it out because like if I'm not doing anything that day, if I don't have any appearances to make as Miss Chicago, or you know, doing book signings for my book, you know, I'm pretty much makeupless, like going to the grocery store and things like that.
I mean, I'm not saying go beat your mug to go to Walmart.
Going out to Walmart for a full face. So no, I'm on chill mode for the most part, but when I do go out, I try my best to put on a face. You know,
so you wear makeup, but you know, for occasions and
like when
so
I'm
you can beat your face.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
I guess. I mean, well, you guys will be the judge. I mean,
my first question I want to ask her is like, what is your book about? Like, let's talk more about your book, because you did mention that you are an author. So
I am an author,
and I didn't know that.
So yes. So I wrote a book called Emerge: Breakthrough into Your Destiny.
Okay.
And it's essentially a book about breaking past barriers, really tearing down strongholds, everything that's been a limitation in your life, how to take that and use that for your greatest advantage so you can really soar in your destiny and soar in your gifts, your talents, everything that God put on the inside of you, how to emerge really from nothing. And I share my story of how at a point in time, I was homeless. I was homeless and I had lost everything within a blink of an eye. I was living in LA and I had lost everything.
Oh, living in LA, yeah. It's
like living in LA. Yeah.
I mean, I've been to LA so many times, and it's like, I didn't realize how many homeless people were out there. And I'm just like, okay, how is it so many people live on the street? That's what people were saying, like, there's so many people out here that don't make it, and then they fall into homelessness and they kind of like stay there.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually the narrative, but for me it was different.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that was your story, but I'm just saying like LA is is a lot of people out there that's struggling. Like, living day to day. Yeah,
because like, you know, the living expenses out there, I mean, it's just, you know, the cost of living is really expensive and different things like that. But my journey was different, and I'm so grateful for that journey. Basically, so I had lost the place that I was in, became homeless, and I was sleeping in my car. During this period of sleeping in my car, like I was still working, I was still hustling, you know what I mean? Like I was still making the show happen.
Yeah.
And even though it was probably one of the most challenging times in my life, it was the time of my life that I really found out who I was.
Yeah.
It was during that time I literally was like, I have to emerge. Like I have to emerge out of this situation, out of having nothing, to, you know, where I believe God is calling me to go. That was somewhat the inspiration from the book. I literally emerged out of that situation, and from me being homeless, I literally went from losing everything, being homeless, to miraculously, you know, it happened where when I was in the car, when I was sleeping in my car, every day I would confess, like, I'm going from the pit to the palace. Like that was my
beautiful.
I'm like, I'm going from the pit to the palace, from the pit to the palace. And I would drive around Bel Air, and I'm like, I'm going from the pit to the palace. And then next thing you know, I look up, I get a phone call from a family that lived in Bel Air. And they were like, hey, they were like, you know, one of your mentors, because they had mentors and things, you know, let me know what happened to you. And we're like, so, you know, we were like, basically they heard about the news, and they said, look, we have this big mansion, we have this big house here. Come and live with us until you figure it out. So I literally went from sleeping in my car to living in an insane mansion in Bel Air, overlooking, you know, the mountains with the pool. I mean, I was like, literally, like, how did this just happened? But I manifested it based off of the words that I was speaking. And I always share that with people, like, what are you speaking over your life? What are you declaring over your life? What you speak, what you say, you will have. And as a man thinketh, so will he be. So from there, I'm trying to go that deep, girl.
I know it's just so cliche. It's like you hear like vibes and manifesting and all that. It's just people are saying it so much that people don't realize like it's really a real thing. It's not like cliche. Where I was in my life, like I was unhappy, and I would speak like certain things that I would want to happen in my life, and it literally what happened. And it was like, it was happening so much that it was freaking me out. I'm like, it's just like witchcraft, like what's going on? Like I know I'm working towards something, but it's always like things always happen to me in a time where I feel like my lowest, and it's just like
absolutely.
And that sounds like what happened to you.
That's exactly what happened. And then I went on, and I ended up getting scouted out to actually compete in a pageant before this one. And got scouted out for a pageant during that time. And I remember like explaining to the pageant directors, like, look, you know, I told them about my story. I'm just transitioning. Like, I have a lot going on in my life right now. I was just sleeping in my car not too long ago, and they were like, listen, forget all that. You got to do this. You got to step out on faith, and we would love for you to participate in this pageant. And it was for the Miss California pageant, Miss California USA. Next thing you know, I'm competing in this pageant, and check this out. Like, I didn't even have a gown because I had lost everything. So this is a couple weeks after, but I still hadn't got everything together. Didn't have a gown. I'm at the competition. I'm number 3 in line, and they're calling me. They're calling me, you know, to go out for the judges. Like, this is the actual show now. And they're like, Chance, why aren't you in line? We're backstage. I'm like, I don't have a gown, like I told you guys. Like,
I don't have anything.
I really don't have anything.
It's just me.
It's just me. But it was just such a valuable learning lesson. So next thing you know, someone comes running from the back of the stage with this yellow gown. And they're running toward me, and they threw me this gown. I had never seen it before, never touched it, anything. They said, put this gown on and get out there and go on the stage. So I put the gown on in a hurry. I barely looked at myself in the mirror. I mean, you know, and these girls have been rehearsing, I'm sure, for months, years, you know. And here I am, like last minute, like, throw me the jersey, coach, you know what I mean? And they give me a gown, put me in the game, coach. And put the gown on and I took a deep breath and I'm like, God, like I just give this moment to you. I don't know what's gonna happen. I literally went out and I was crowned Miss Bel Air.
Wow.
So I literally went from living just in my car a couple of minutes from Bel Air to being crowned.
That is so beautiful.
Queen of
kind of like goosebumps, like
isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
but it started from what I say all that to say it started from what I was confessing.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I'm going from the pit to the palace. And then my career began to just take off, and it was just like everything went up from there. It taught me how to trust the process.
Yeah.
So many times you wanna have all the answers and you wanna have everything figured out, but you have to trust the process.
You really do.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah. So now we're back.
We are back.
Yes. The struggles of recording, y'all, and she's seeing all the behind the scenes of all my struggles.
I'm learning.
That I like to do is concealer. So
okay, perfect.
The concealer that I really love at the moment is the NARS concealer and the Tarte. So I might end up I like to mix my concealers together. So I might be using, I'm definitely gonna go in with Tarte Deep. And then I'm gonna go in with this NARS Caramel, which is a lighter concealer because I like to brighten underneath my eyes. So you use
right now I'm using, because I ran
the OG.
You know, the old and faithful. I'm just using the LA Pro concealer. This one I usually use Fawn, but this one is a cool tan.
And you know what? I used to always use Fawn all the time.
Really? Yeah, I know.
The fact that you're using Fawn and we're like,
I know, like totally. Yeah.
I feel like LA Girl is like the OG, and I feel like
it's all you can trust it,
and it's always gonna be like the go-to, like for everybody, no matter how high up on the pedestal you think you are as a makeup artist. I feel like LA Girl is always gonna be there,
and it's something affordable for the everyday woman.
Yeah, because how much is it now? Like, is it like $2 still, or is it like $3?
Maybe like $3 or $4.
Okay, so they went up a little bit.
Yeah, they went up a little bit. I try my best to, wear products that everyone can have access to. Yeah. You know what I mean? For like the everyday girl.
Some of these drugstore makeup brands are better than some of these high-end brands. So
listen,
trust me, you don't have to spend your money, all your money on makeup. So again, I'm using this spray to spray my beauty blender because it kind of got dry a little bit sitting right here.
I know some people start with the beauty blender.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. I like to use brushes sometimes to apply the product, and then I'll just use a beauty blender to make everything just blend together. So it's really, like I said, it's really no rules to doing your makeup, honestly.
I mean, it's like art, you know what I mean? Everyone's like their own artist, and there's different techniques that you can find that work for you. So I really kind of beat the mess out of my under. I don't even know if that's good, but
no,
you know what I mean?
Like, I be rough to the skin, okay? I know people like, be gentle.
Be gentle.
Especially underneath your eyes, it's so like delicate.
Yes.
But they don't call it beat your face for no reason.
Right.
So I got that Tarte down, and I'm gonna use this NARS concealer. It's a little light. It's probably like your shade, but I like my eyes to be kind of like bright.
But I like the finish and like how it's going on.
Yeah, and again, like once I use powders and everything, like it looks light now, but once I blend everything out,
it's gonna look.
You're never gonna know that I used this light concealer. But I really use this underneath my eyes because I like my under eyes to look awake.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it looks good. That's what I think I did an okay job. What y'all think?
Is it okay,
guys?
I feel like such an amateur sitting next to you. I'm like, am I doing it right? I feel like I'm just like playing stuff.
No, you're doing fine. And that's the thing, a lot of people do their makeup next to me and think I'm such a pro. Like, I don't want to be judged. Trust me. Like, I am not judging. You're doing a good job. It's trial and error.
Right, that's
so
what I
you
feel
really
like.
don't even know what works for you, because what might work for me might not work for you.
No, right, and it's about like just trying it out.
So let's go on to the next question I want to ask you. So since we met at the Confidence Foundation charity event, I want to talk about confidence because I want to ask you, is there a difference between being confident and cocky? Or is there one and the same? Because I know a lot of people like, oh, you think you all that? I don't understand that saying. I hate when people say that, because like, how do you? No, I've been told that in the past. Like, you think you all that, but I'm just like, what does that even mean? I think I'm all that. Like,
stop it. Get some help.
Because I'm confident, comfortable in my skin. So, like, what do you think Is it the same thing as being cocky?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so
absolutely not. I believe that there's absolutely a difference between being confident and cocky. Confidence is really something that you work on and that exudes from the inside out. Cockiness is more so something that you try to portray just solely based off the outside. So confidence is really, I think, comes from your personal story and the things that you've had to conquer, you know, the situations that you had to overcome. And as you overcome those situations, it reflects through your confidence. So like for me, like I've been through so many different things. You know, I've overcome being homeless. I've been in terrible relationships and unhealthy relationships, you know what I mean? And with like no good dudes and like bad guys. So with I think everything that you overcome, each step of the way, it's this confidence that begins to grow in you, where it's like, I'm no longer going to settle for the things that I used to settle for. I'm no longer going to, you know, do life the way I used to do it, because I've learned, I'm wiser now, I'm more mature now, and with that maturity and with that wisdom, I believe that confidence can reflect in a really beautiful way. And it's just natural, it's organic. What makes me confident is knowing that my value doesn't come from other people. My value doesn't come from social media and likes and, you know, Instagram and, you know, all the social media things. Like my worth doesn't come from that. My worth and my value comes from my creator, you know, comes from God. So I think when you know that, it's like, you know, you stop caring about what other people will say about you. And usually people who say things like that, like you think you're this or you think you're that, usually suffer from low self-esteem, right? They have insecurities. And it just pinpoints that they have things that they actually need to work on and develop. But we all can grow in our confidence, you know what I mean? Like,
I couldn't have said it any better. And I think that we're our worst critics. So it's like, people might think that you're a certain way on the outside. I think this a lot. People always like, oh my God, I just feel like I thought you were so mean. Half the time I'm really in deep thought and I'm always in my own head. I'm always thinking about what do I need to do? I'm always making lists in my head. So it's not you. So if you see me on the street, like just come up and say hi to me, because I literally will brighten up like, hey, how you doing? I'll give you a hug, what's your name and stuff like that. So I think like, being confident and being cocky are two different things. And it's like, I am confident, but I mean, even like you said, like we all have our days where we feel like we're not our best. Even Beyonce, the baddest woman on the planet. You think that she's always like, I'm Beyonce? No. Right. You know, and it's okay, because we're all human. We're not robots. So,
I think it's just really about just taking it one step at a time. And not allowing yourself to be overwhelmed, not allowing yourself to even try to put yourself up against someone else and compete and things like that, because all of those things will wear you out and make you exhausted. Trying to compare yourself, trying to compete, trying to keep up. You just got to be authentic to your true self and love yourself and take care of yourself. That self-care is so important.
It really is.
And know, like, baby, like you are a star. Like you are a star. You don't need anyone to qualify you, validate you. You are a star all by yourself, and you just got to believe in yourself.
Do y'all hear that?
You don't know what they're going
to do. Exactly. You don't know what's happening between, like, behind those doors. So it's like, just make sure that you're living your truth and you're comfortable in your own skin and that you're living your best life. Then it doesn't even matter what somebody else is doing.
You know, I encourage people, you know, if you have to pull off social media, if you got to take a social media break, like take your breaks. Take your breaks. Like every year for at least a month, I'm off social media. For at least 30 days every year. And it's been so helpful. For a month, I just like totally forget about social media and I live my life and I get back in tune and in touch with like what I love again and, you know, what I want to build, and it just really helps me create and get back to the basics. So,
and I mean, I've had my times where I literally will be on social media and I'm like, okay, I'm about to go do this, and I'll get on my phone like, let me just check Twitter real quick. And I sit there and I look up and I've been on the phone for 2 hours just scrolling. It's just like, what have I done with my time for 2 hours? Looking at all these people like live. So I feel like it is important to have like those social media breaks for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think I'm done. I'm over here just like and I'm like, am I done?
So what did you use to set like your concealer? Did you set your concealer?
That is not correct.
Oh, she did set her concealer, guys. Who is she? So you're confident with your confident with your concealer not
No, I'm not
moving.
Confident. I am not confident. I actually forgot about setting powder.
So I have this derma blend that I'm probably gonna let her use. You can either use a brush, like Normally I use like a skin finishing powder first and then I put it on my setting powder, but this time I just put my setting powder on. So you can either use a brush or a sponge.
Or a sponge. Okay.
Yeah, that goes for all skin tones, so that's not really gonna give you any craziness. Like, don't get overwhelmed if you don't know what you're doing.
Do it!
Confident. Yeah, and you could just literally just
Like that?
keep blending it into, yeah. Now put it on the other eye.
I'm trusting you.
Oh yeah, you gotta trust me. I won't steer you wrong. Yeah, so this is a weird little sponge. It's like cut. So yeah, so look up, and then you literally would just. I normally just work it in until you kind of don't see it anymore.
Oh my god. Okay. So it doesn't have to be the yellow powder. I can do white.
Yeah, this is translucent. So translucent, it goes for like any skin tone. I literally can use this on anybody's skin tone. So now that that's sitting on top, I know. So now you can use whatever powder brush you have
And go back and blend.
And you could either sweep it away, or if you feel like it's too light, you can go in with this finishing matte powder that you have if you want to. And kind of tap it in. Don't get
This is
carried
the
away.
foundation brush from Sigma.
Okay, yeah. So, but I like those little fluffy brushes. Yeah.
Like
And,
that?
Yeah, you literally pat it in.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Alright.
you definitely want to set your concealer, because by the end of the night, your concealer is going to be all creased up and
nasty
moved
looking.
all over down your chin and stuff like that. So
Oh, I hate
it's important to set that. So you want to do eyeshadow?
Yeah.
You don't seem like
That's what's next. Let's do eyeshadow. Let's do eyeshadow.
Okay, so she has this palette, the palette with that blue in it. I mean, you have a lot of blue on, but this blue,
I know. More
let me
blue.
see.
Let's see. This is the Sigma Viper palette.
Yeah, that looks cute though. You know, a trick, if you don't want to get too fancy, you literally can just use your finger and tap it on your lid. Like, try to get as close to your lash line, and then if you want to use like a clean, like this clean little flush brush and blend out the edges, you can do that. Like, this is going to be a one shadow tutorial right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like your finger is really like your best
So I'm putting
tool.
it on my lid.
Yeah, so you can't be afraid. I feel like when you're doing makeup, you can't
be afraid.
You can't be afraid. Because if you go in afraid, then you already failed. So she's doing that. My camera, I'm gonna pause. So we're back and we're gonna finish up this video, but the last thing we're really gonna do, I did a little eyeshadow off camera. And I'm probably gonna put some gloss on. I'm not really gonna do too much for y'all. And I'm going to ask you one more question about like your title being Miss Chicago 2020 and what does that necessarily like mean? What are like your roles? Because I know for me, like I don't really know what pageant girls do besides get crowned. Like what are your roles? Like holding
Right,
this title.
Right, like what goes into all of it.
Exactly.
Well, I'll first start with this. Like, I never saw myself as a pageant girl. I still don't even really consider myself like a typical pageant girl. I mean, even if you look at me, like, I'm bald head.
And that's another thing, like she won her title with a shaved head.
Yeah, like I'm not going to put on a wig. Like I'm not going to conform. You know, I had made this step maybe about 2 years ago where I stood in the mirror and shaved off all of my hair, and I'm like, I don't ever really want to go back. You know, like if I have to for like special events, I'll do it, but I don't want to go back. I want to embrace my authentic self. So that was really important to me coming into this title for women to see a different version of beauty.
So was your hair blonde too?
Yeah, all of it.
She said, look, y'all gonna take me as I am.
We're gonna just do this like we're gonna do this. So yes,
Wow,
it was
that's
blonde, but obviously it's like going out a little bit now. You know, I go on to compete for Miss Illinois coming up in a couple of months. For my title for Miss Chicago, it's for me, it's really a responsibility. You know, some people just see the beauty and the glamour.
Yeah.
But this is absolutely a responsibility for women of color to be seen in places like this and on stages like this. Women of color need to be seen in these type of spaces. Also, really be a voice for my city. You know, I'm from Chicago. Like Chicago, a lot of people have this perception of Chicago through the news, murders, killings, violence, but
it's so irritating. I'm sorry to cut you off, but every time I go to another city, people like, you're from Chicago? You gonna shoot me? Like, you think I'm just packing a gun? Because that's not what it is.
That's not. So I really want to change the narrative as much as I can. Of course, I can't do it by myself, but really just make an impact while I have this title to change the narrative of how people see Chicago. You know what I mean? Chicago is not all guns, violence, and gangs. We have beautiful people here with real stories.
And talented people
and music and food. Like, we have so many incredible,
the food, amazing. Come
amazing
here,
things. So I want to just be a representation of that, and just keep it raw and authentic. So a part of my reign as Miss Chicago, I plan to do a citywide school tour. Okay. So I'll be going to all the school systems and really just speaking to the students, encouraging the students, talking about emerging, because I told you I'm an author. I have a book called Emerge, how to discover those things. And really, not be another statistic, but be someone and become someone that can defy all of the odds and, shatter the statistics.
Well, I think you said this, like, they're not gonna know what's out there if they don't see it.
If they don't see it,
So I feel like kids have to be exposed, especially children everywhere, but especially in Chicago, like, they have to be exposed to things that they haven't seen besides like what you see on TV, because I mean TV is pretty toxic, and sometimes their home life is toxic, so all they know is toxic. How you say the word? Toxic?
Toxic.
Y'all know what I mean.
Toxic. Now you got me. All they know is just things that are toxic.
Exactly. Period. Like I said, Chicago has a lot of beauty inside it, and I think that All-Star Weekend was like the start to really see like what Chicago has to offer, because you had like people like Chance the Rapper doing like the All-Star performance, and had like Drill Team on there. Like, all these talented kids were able to showcase their talent on national TV in front of millions of people, and I thought that was so dope. And I'm happy I met you. If I didn't come today, then I would never know oh, we have a Miss Chicago and she's a black girl.
The world is changing. People are just demanding to see something different. Yeah, they're tired of the same type of styles, looks, people, agendas. We're just, it's this culture right now that we live in is demanding something fresh, something new, something real, something authentic. And I just want to be a part of that movement of what's happening and what's shifting in culture right now.
Why are we still saying like, this is the first black woman to do this, and we're in 2020?
Right, we're in 2020.
We're still breaking barriers even in this day and age, and I feel like it's a beautiful thing, but it's kind of sad. Like,
if we can all come together as a people, as a voice, especially people of color, I am a black woman, that we can literally be unstoppable. Like, when I was looking at that Black History Month commercial for Google,
oh my God,
I was like, we are the culture, like, we are the future, like, this is it. Strong Cold Eyelash Black Adhesive by iMovie. And I love it because it's like an eyeliner. So I put on my eyeliner. I use this as an eyeliner, and I just put the lashes on, so I can do both.
Okay, I think I've seen somebody do that, but I'm trying to think what I've seen them. I don't know if it was that product, but I just think they put on their actual lash glue, like how I got, because I have the lash glue that has like a little brush, and they literally just put it on as eyeliner and just put their lashes on, which is probably the smartest way if you're struggling. So do you have to allow that to like dry down a little bit, or can you instantly just put your lashes on? Because me, I don't know if you guys noticed in the beginning, like, I had to put my glue on, step my lashes to the side, let it dry down a little bit.
So yeah, I mean, maybe just like for a quick second, but not too long, because not too long, but maybe just like for a second, so you guys can see it's like the eyeliner on there.
And it looks cute, like you did a little wing. I'm jealous.
Yeah,
so you do one eye at a time.
Yeah, I do one eye at a time. And then, of course, some people use like the tweezers. Is that what you use?
I used to use my fingers. I don't know how I used to use my fingers, but now I use tweezers. And I'm like, how did I ever use my hands? Yes, cute.
Oh my God.
See?
Are they too big?
No. I don't know if you guys know, but I do lashes, but I also probably gonna start selling lashes. So if you guys don't follow my Instagram at @anti_gorgeous. Maybe I'll name them Chance.
Oh, I would love that.
So these are Chance lashes.
Yes, like my own lash.
Yeah. You want to tell them like your social medias before the camera cut off?
Yes. Absolutely. So you guys can connect with me. I would love to connect with you on Instagram at Chance Cessna. So CHANCE Cessna, CESSNA, and you can connect with me there. And then also my website, chancecessna.com. You can learn all about me, you can learn about the book, and then also follow my journey to the crown as I get ready to compete.
Yes, and I'm gonna have all that information on the screen and in the description box. But I wanna say thank you so much for being on my channel.
Thank you.
We've been our love. And I want to say slay every day. And I'll see you guys in my next video. You guys are definitely going to see Chance again. So if you guys are loving her, leave some comments below. And we're out.
Bye.